YouTube fam, it's P. Michelle, and today we're going to be talking about the things I wish someone would have told me going into the makeup artistry business. I have been a makeup artist for 10 plus years. I've been in the bridal makeup business for about 7 years now. And when I tell you there's so many things, from working at a counter, working for Lancome for like 3 years, and then going into freelancing, it is a huge jump. There's things that no one talks about and things that I just wish somebody would have told me, and I'm going to share that with you. So let's get started. The first thing I want to stress is you don't need every expensive makeup product out there. It's not necessary. What is necessary is your skill. So working on your skill. In this day and age, there are so many things that are dupes. Dupes. There's nothing wrong with starting out with the makeup line that you have. Don't stress and think I can't be a makeup artist because I don't have NARS, I don't have Charlotte Tilbury yet, I don't have this, I don't have that. No one cares. Yes, high-end makeup does have its perks, but when you're just starting out, you don't need all the luxury items yet. You can work with what we have, especially in this day and age. Like I said, in this day and age, we have so many alternatives, so many dupes, so many things that are actually good quality. Like Morphe is really good quality. e.l.f. has came a long way. NYX is really good quality. There are so many drugstore brands that have stepped up that a lot of people don't even notice the difference as long as your skills are good. I know so many people that don't know how to do their makeup, and they buy all this high-end makeup and don't know how to use it. And to me, it's just like a waste of $60. And that's no shade to them. But I started out doing makeup. I only did drugstore makeup. I still wear a lot of drugstore makeup. In my personal kit, like my personal makeup bag, I wear a lot of drugstore makeup because I can. I love my Luxe stuff, but I also do love my drugstore. Don't stress about that. If you're scared to start because you don't have high quality makeup, I stress focus on your skill versus what products that you have in your makeup kit. It's a journey. Build it up as you go. The second thing, I remember starting out doing makeup on my own, freelancing, and not having a ring light. Like, I don't know why I was doing makeup in the dark, but I was doing makeup in the dark. I was taking pictures in the dark. I would use my flash a lot of the times. I have 2 lights right here. I got these from Newer. Once I invested in these lights, not a ring light, but these lights right here, it changed the game for me. And one thing I will say that you should invest in and splurge on are lights, a chair. I even go as far as saying a Hulking bag. A Hulking bag has changed my everlasting life. I'm gonna link all these things down below in the description, but these lights, the light I have in front of me is one I got off of Amazon. The name brand one is, I think, close to $200. I got mine for $50, and I tell you, it's the same light. Find alternatives. You don't need the most expensive lights, just light. You need lights for your pictures. You need good lighting for, especially if you're doing bridal. If you're doing bridal, you need good lighting, because when I tell you, I have done a million weddings and a lot of them are in a closet. I don't know why, what's the deal with that, but a lot of them are in a closet. Hence, you're having bad lighting. There's this one particular venue that I don't like going to, but I do go to it because, you know, people hire me, and it's orange. It's so incredibly closed in, no windows, and it's orange. The lighting is very orange. And when you're doing makeup, a lot of the times you want your own customized lighting, so you can customize your lighting based on your client. I can't do a pale girl in orange light. You know what I'm saying? Or I can't do like a very brown, dark-skinned girl with bright light, which I can, but you want it to be customizable to their skin tone. Second thing is going to be a chair. I use a director's chair or a makeup chair. This helped my back so much. Invest in a chair. All the venues that I've gone to, I don't know if it's because of the aesthetic, if they just like hairstylists better than makeup artists, but they'll have the lowest of the low chairs, and I can't take it. I couldn't take it, so I invested in a chair. Now, carrying all these things is a hassle. But when I tell you it's worth it, especially if you want to bring out good quality content, if that's your jam, and especially for your portfolio. Your portfolio is going to be your moneymaker, and you have to have a good portfolio. And you have a good portfolio, you have to have good lighting. Yes, you can shoot in front of a window, pictures in front of a window, go outside. But when I tell you having your own lights, there have been times where I brought all this lights, and people look at me when I come in, like bridesmaids and stuff, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, this girl's so extra. It's not until I turn off my lights and everybody's in the dark all of a sudden. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, I was depending on your light to do my own makeup. You know what I'm saying? So invest in your lights. Invest in a chair. I love my Hulken bag. I know a lot of makeup artists use a cart. I did have a cart. The Hulken bag is just more efficient for me. It's deep. I could just put everything in it and I could just hold it around. Now, I haven't went on like a really big staircase with it yet, and I'm not looking forward to that. But having all your things in one thing, like I just literally hulk it up into my car, hulk it out of my car. It has wheels and I just drag it around, put my stuff in, and I'm good to go. So lighting, chair, Hulken bag. Supplies. If you're going to invest in anything, yes, invest in your makeup kit, invest in your equipment. Your equipment is going to be key when it comes to making content and updating your portfolio. Number 3 that I wish someone would have told me, and I've kind of learned this when I used to work for Lancome Cosmetics in a department store, it's going to be really invest and be cognizant of your customer service. Customer service is going to help you 100,000,000 times over. Having good communication, having good customer service with people is going to help you with your business, because when I tell you, in this industry, in this beauty industry, customer service is lacking. People do not have great customer service. People getting their hair done, getting talked crazy to, getting their nails done, getting talked crazy to, getting their makeup done, getting talked crazy to. Being in tune and having discernment when you're with your clients, knowing body language, knowing when you're communicating with someone, why are their face doing that, why their tone of voice just changed. Those key things, really paying attention to that is going to help you through and through. There are certain times that I've noticed that someone feels off about their makeup, but they can't verbally say it to me, but their body language is saying it. I'll hand them the mirror to see their makeup, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, it's pretty, thank you. Sometimes that's their personality. Sometimes she don't like the makeup. And you ask her key questions. What don't you like about the makeup? What do you like about the makeup? We can change anything. Making sure you're making them super comfortable so they can have that open communication. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's other makeup artists that are doing this, but people are so uncomfortable to tell you that they don't like their makeup. They're so uncomfortable telling you like, I just wish this would be a little darker, or this could tweak. I don't know what it is about that, but they are so uncomfortable like communicating that. And you want to make your environment so friendly, so open that they can tell you like, hey girl, to be real, I don't like the blush. Or hey girl, to be real, I don't really like my eyebrows this dark, or I need a lighter brow, or something like that. And then on top of that, when they give you an inspiration photo, I always tell people when they give you an inspiration photo, one thing I do tell my clients in my consent form, get someone that looks like you. If you're getting an inspiration photo and you're blonde, find a blonde girl. If you're black, find a black girl. If you're brunette, find someone that has similar features as you. If you have hooded eyes, look for people with hooded eyes, all these things. Because some people would show a picture of a girl and the girl is gorgeous. The girl is face-tuned out. Do people still use Facetune? I don't know. Face-tuned out. The girl is photoshopped out. And really communicating that with your client. Like, what is it that you like about this picture? You know, a lot of times I'll ask clients that and they're like, oh, I just love everything about it. And I'm like, okay, so do you want your eyebrows this dark? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Did you want your eyes this dark? Did you want the eyeliner at the bottom? Oh, I didn't think about that. This is a full coverage beat. Do you want all this makeup on your face? No, I just thought that she was pretty. And, you know, meanwhile, they want a natural glam. They don't even want full glam. They just thought, oh, she's pretty, you know? And a lot of times they don't know what natural, what neutral, all these things, all these terminologies. So being able to communicate and have that communication with them so they can understand. We want an understanding when it comes to building this relationship with our client. Because we don't just want this client for the one time. We want them reoccurring. You know what I'm saying? Really getting your communication down packed. Look up videos on how to communicate. Talk to people. Like when you have models, practice that communication with them. Have them bring an inspiration photo and then you mimic it and then you have that conversation. But conversation is going to be key when it comes to building that relationship with your client. That is what I wish somebody would have told me, because I would have just like did their makeup and then just gone about my merry way, and then they hated it and they would tell people like, oh no, don't go to her because she like does X, Y, and Z, and I never wanted that. So build that. When I tell you have communication, my God. The next thing I would say, this is something that I've already known, but I want to stress this even more. Sanitation, sanitation, sanitation. Nobody wants to be around a dirty makeup artist. I have heard horror stories of people telling me that there was a makeup artist that used the same sponge on everybody. Used the same sponge. Mascara. out of the tube, like straight out of the tube, no disposables. Using lipstick without spraying the alcohol. Using the same brushes without cleaning the brushes. You do not want to be known as a dirty makeup artist. Sanitation. If you don't know anything about sanitation, I'm an esthetician, so they stress sanitation when I was in school. So that's why I know about barbicide, alcohol. Like I said, I already knew this, but I do want to stress this in this video because a lot of people don't know this. When you're using a lip liner, when you're using a lipstick, when you're using cream products, making sure you have like do I have one right here? No, I have like one of these. I'm gonna post it right here. A palette, and I have like the little scraper. I scrape it, put it on the palette, and then, you know, go to town. Don't put the concealer on straight from the nozzle. Sanitation. Because one thing that you don't want is to get sued because you gave someone pink eye, you gave someone herpes. You don't want to give someone a disease. You don't want to get anybody an infection just because you didn't disinfect a lipstick, you didn't disinfect an eyeliner or a liner, giving someone pink eye. You know, all these things come into play. Making sure that you have sponges, and once you're done with those sponges, you throw those sponges away, those powder puffs away. Don't even have to throw them away. You can just give them to your client. But making sure you're using disposables when it comes to mascara wands, lip wands, cleaning your brushes often. Like all these things come into play because you don't want to get someone sick, and you don't want to be responsible for getting someone an eye infection or giving them herpes. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. We do not want that. So sanitation. If you don't know anything about sanitation, there are a million videos. You can use ChatGPT on the things that you need to do to sanitize, but make sure you are sanitizing. I cannot stress that enough. You do not want to be a dirty makeup artist. And then also revamping your kit often, making sure you're cleaning all the nozzles. Because I don't know about you, but like during a wedding, I get so incredibly messy because I'm like doing all these things. That's just how my brain works. So I have like a tub for my brushes because I have a million brushes. Like I have a brush case. This is it right here because I just did my makeup. I have a brush case because I have a lot of brushes. I don't like cleaning in between clients, and I just get my brushes, put them in this container, and then I'll clean them later just so I can have everything in order. But yeah, sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Can't stress it enough. The next thing that I wish somebody would have told me, I learned this later on in my makeup career. I want to say I started doing this like 3 years ago, and it has saved me so much heartache, is practice on as many people as you can. I was practicing on my friends for the longest time, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but you want to, especially because I used to work at a department store. I'm gonna bring that up a lot because it really shaped me. One of my biggest advice, if you're starting out in the game, working at a department store so you can work at a counter, they give you free training. They take, like, you literally take a 3-day training. At least I did when I worked for Lancome. They take you on a 3-day training about makeup. They show you tricks. They give you advice. Sometimes they'll have, I know Lancome does this, they'll have their, like, one of their makeup artists come in and he'll do like a special programming or whatever. Ours was Robert Cook, who he does a lot of, he'll come on like a QVC type of ordeal and like sell the makeup products, but he would come in and teach us about the product and give us like different tips and tricks on how we could do makeup and stuff. That really shaped me when going into makeup. That's why I always stress going to a counter. I hate the quota. The quota I didn't vibe with, but the training and the knowledge working at a counter really, really helped me so much. So I stress that if you can work at a counter. But like I was saying, working at a counter, I could practice on so many people. I cannot stress this enough. Practice on the lightest skinned person, you know, practice on the darkest skinned person, practice on a redhead, practice on an albino. I remember I had this girl, she was albino. She had no eyebrows whatsoever. And her mom told me, she's like, she's never had eyebrows. I want her to have eyebrows. I want her to have something light, nothing too bold or anything like that. And I got to practice on her. So I practiced on doing like a lighter eyebrow because at the time it was 2016, 2017 when everyone was doing like the big block brow. So stuff like that, practicing on older, mature skin, practicing on babies. I do a lot of pageants a lot of the times. And the girls that I do pageants on are kids. So practicing on kids, because doing makeup on kids is a lot harder than you think. They want to look down all the time. They can't keep their focus. They're flinching and they're squeezing and all the time. But I wouldn't know how to do that if I didn't practice on kids when I worked at Lancome at the department store. So working on different undertones, working on Black people, brown people, Indian people, Mexican people, working on white people, Asian people, monolids, hooded lids, doe-eyed people, people that have downturning eyes. I practiced on everybody. I used to just get people off the way and I'd be like, you want to get a free makeover? And I would do their makeup. I would just do their makeup. I would take because at the department store that I worked at, you can take every which way, like every product and try it out. I did that. And then leading up to me being a freelance and a bridal makeup artist, so many trends that happen throughout makeup artistry. And one thing about being a makeup artist is that you're always learning. You're always learning. Always be open to learning. You don't know everything, and that's fine. There are things that you do know, and there's things that you don't know, and that's fine. I'm always looking for information. I'm always watching videos. I'm always trying to keep up with the trends and what the people are doing a lot of the times, because sometimes I can't keep up. I really stay with what I do, but in the field of what I do, I try to advance my skills. I'm always learning. I'm always taking courses. I'm always watching a seminar or something like that. Getting models to upgrade your skills, because I don't work at a department store anymore, and I didn't like the way that I was doing makeup. So I would just call in. I would do like a model call on my Facebook page or Instagram stories, and I would get girls to come in, or I would get girls around the way that I've come into contact with and I liked their features, or I would get someone that I knew I haven't tried their features before, or someone with their features before. So I would ask them to come in to be a model for me, and I would do their makeup for free. I would get content, experience. That's one thing I cannot stress. Get a model. Get all the models, because you don't want to be in a position where you don't know how to do everybody's face. You just don't. I know a lot of people, like for me, I made sure I knew how to do the darkest of dark skin. I wanted to make sure I knew how to do the whitest of white skin, Asian monolids, hooded eyes. Like a lot of people always tell me that my eyes are so difficult to do because I have hooded eyes. I'm sorry. And I'm like, hooded eyes are not hard. And the reason why hooded eyes aren't hard for me is because I know how to do a hooded eye, because I've practiced on a million people with hooded eyes. You know what I'm saying? Practicing on your eyebrows, practicing on just all these things. Being intentional with that. Like even practicing with people that have like frontals or wigs, blonde hair, people that just had a spray tan matching for them. Like all these things, all these components come in to do a makeup. A lot of times people think, oh, you're just doing makeup. Makeup is whatever. No, it's a science to makeup. It's color theory to makeup. I use all these pigments when I use my makeup. See if I need to use a warm tone on you or a cool tone on you. And there's all these things that come into play. And I only know that because I have done models, have experience, made sure that I had all this knowledge. Because there are makeup artists out there that can't do darker skin. There are makeup artists out there that can't do Asian skin. There are makeup artists out there that can't do like an Indian skin. Because a lot of times Indian people have like this grayish brown type of thing going on, which is beautiful, but a lot of people can't match them because they don't know how to. So there are all these things come into play when it comes to being a makeup artist. Being knowledgeable about that and being hands-on with it, because you can watch all the videos in the world, but being hands-on, having a model is going to help you so much. The one thing I wish somebody would have told me is do not get discouraged if you suck in the beginning. If you are terrible at what you do, if you want to be a makeup artist and you're starting from ground zero and you're mad because you can't understand why your stuff doesn't look like so-and-so and you watched every makeup video ever, it's because when it comes to being a makeup artist, it's not just putting makeup on someone, it's the pressure of what you're doing, the way that you're holding the makeup brush. It's the way that you're holding the makeup brush. A lot of times people do this. When with this kind of brush, you want to be back here. It's knowing that. It's knowing what products to use. You know, sometimes we can get heavy-handed with foundations and creams and heavy-handed with eyeshadows, and it's like you feel like you're doing what you're seeing in these videos, but you don't, because you don't know the pressure, you don't know the feeling of it yet. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that comes with experience. But know that your first few makeup looks are probably going to suck. Some people are, but you know, some people know. You know, some people are just amazing at what they do. They see it the first time and they're good. Cool. But a lot of us, you know, it's all about evolving. That's with anything. You have to evolve your skill. You can't quit in the first few months because you haven't gotten to where you want to be. And that's fine. But being okay with, I'm going to suck right now, but I won't suck later, you know? And then celebrating your wins when you do get a wing eyeliner perfectly, when you do get an eyebrow done perfectly, when you do get the foundation matched perfectly, really celebrating your wins and knowing that right now you may suck, but later you won't. You won't. You'll be good. But the thing is, you can't quit. I've seen so many makeup artists quit. And it's like, no, you can't quit. You got to keep pushing through. Because on the other side is some money, girl. Some money. So don't quit. There was a time I wasn't happy in my makeup journey. And I quit. I didn't want to do it anymore. My friend, she needed help with makeup for, I think, weddings. And she was like, can you please just help me with these few weddings? And I was like, yeah, I guess. So I helped her. Meanwhile, I quit. I didn't want to do makeup anymore. I helped her, and when I was helping her, I was like, oh my gosh, I love doing makeup. Like, I've loved doing makeup. I've loved makeup since I watched Michelle Phan on here, and J Love's Mac 1, and Andrea's Choice, and Jackie Aina. I've loved makeup since those days. You know, I've been watching makeup videos since like 2007, when I was in 7th grade. And always loved makeup. Not even like the products or anything, just the way that makeup can make someone look and feel. I've always loved that. So when I would go to these weddings and I would do makeup on these people, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like they would see their face and they would be like, oh my gosh, I love this. This is so pretty, blah, blah, blah. I've never looked like this before. I prayed and I asked God, I was like, is this something that I should be doing? And I sat with that and I just came back to it. And that's why I always stress, don't quit. And now I'm on the other side and I love what I do and I'm good at what I do. I make people happy and it's the best feeling ever. I would never trade this for anything, but I would never be on this side of owning a business, being my own boss, being able to do a wedding every week, and sometimes doing weddings 3 times a week. I would never be where I'm at if I didn't push through. So if you're feeling discouraged and you're feeling like, I don't know if this is something I want to do, I just pray that you keep pushing if this is something that you're passionate about, because on the other side is greatness. The next thing that I cannot stress, build your social media up. If you're not posting often, you're not making money. If you're not posting often, you're not making clients. People don't know who you are. I post so much, people are sick of me, and I do not care because I post. Your IG, your Facebook, whatever you're posting on your TikTok is your portfolio. That's how people can find you. That's how people can seek you. Be intentional with your Instagram, your hashtags, whatever area you're in. I live in Texas, so I'll say hashtag Texas plus the place that I live. Hashtag Texas makeup artist. Hashtag the place that I live makeup artist. You know, being intentional with that. And then having high quality videos. What does that look like for you? For me, it's using my lights, making sure when I'm doing the model's face, make sure she sits up straight, making sure they sit up straight, making sure they look into the camera, how I need them to look into the camera, making sure I'm not blinding them, for one. But having really good quality photos, videos. Think of this as your portfolio. Even if you have to make a separate IG page or a separate TikTok or a separate Facebook page, making sure that you're being intentional with having high quality work, being consistent, showing different angles, all the things. And getting before and after pictures. But ask your client if she's comfortable with the before and after pictures. If they're not comfortable, a lot of times they'll be like, then when people go, to me for the before, I'm like, oh no, we're not doing it. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean like, no, I'm not going to pressure you to do before picture if you're not comfortable. Some people are like, yeah, no, go ahead. And then I'm like, okay, you're good. Because a lot of people don't like themselves without makeup. That's a whole nother thing. But I like to be sensitive about that because you just never know what anyone's going through. And I don't want to force them to do something that they're not comfortable with. But getting before and after pictures, making sure that you're upping your game when it comes to your social media, because it is your portfolio. That's what people see you. It's a business card. Make sure that it looks perfect. And those are the things that I have learned through this process. It has been a journey for sure. I love doing makeup. It's one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely cannot see myself doing anything else. And I just want to help the up and coming makeup artists and just let y'all know that it's not that bad. Once you push through, just keep pushing through. It gets better and it gets better. Yes, you have more responsibilities, but it's something that you love doing. If this was something that I didn't love doing, I would not be doing it. I'm gonna let you know right now. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stress and headache that comes with it, but there's so much love and fun that comes with this job as well. So on that note, we're at the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Comment down all the things that you would want me to talk about in my next video regarding to this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.